Hello, this is Alan Brooks, and welcome to another Mandela Effect video. Today we're going to be looking at some new information that I've found. What are the meanings of all these Mandela effects? Is there a purpose? What's going on behind the scenes? Is someone sending us a secret message? There's got to be some purpose behind all these changes. It's not just willy-nilly. It's not just, for no reason at all. Is there a purpose? I think there is a purpose, and someone is sending us a message. And just for fun, we're going to be looking at a few geography changes that have happened under the Mandela effect. Now, that's really weird, people, okay? But we're going to look at it. I know it sounds science fiction-y and crazy and all that, but I think it's really amazing. You're going to see photographic proof and photo after photo after photo of residual evidence proving what I'm telling you. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. But a little bit before we get into all the photos and stuff, I just wanted to give you a couple of things from my heart, from the Bible, and it's not because I'm trying to preach at you. It's that the Bible's a prophetic book, and it talks about the Antichrist at the end of time, and really, the things that are happening fall right in line with the Antichrist. Some people feel that CERN, a super collider in Switzerland, is the reason, or one of the major reasons, for the Mandela effect. And CERN is mentioned in the Bible, really. Almost, it talks about a door by the angel Apollyon in the book of Revelation, Revelation 9, and it opens a doorway to hell. And amazingly enough, a lot of people don't know that CERN was built on the ancient city of Apollyon. What are the odds, people? And a lot of people feel that CERN has a secret purpose other than just atom smashing, that it actually can open a portal to other dimensions and parallel universes. And that is the connection with the Bible. So we're going to be looking into that. So just a few minutes, we're going to be talking about that, and then we'll get right into all the photographic evidence. Thank you. The Bible does talk about one final world leader, an Adolf Hitler-like figure who's called the Antichrist. Well, when you think about it, with modern media and the ability to brainwash people or propagandize them, half the United States are Democrats. And, Democrat Party used to be party of the worker, of the poor, but now it's become the party of the illegal alien, of the elite globalist, who a lot of them are Satanists. And they want to control us. And they want to bring in Muslims. If you notice, the elite all over the world want to bring in Muslims from all over the world to make their population more Islamic. Why would they do that? It doesn't make sense. Their people don't want it. Italy just had an election where they voted in the conservatives who want to not have all this Muslim immigration. Germany's brought in 2 million Muslims. And so as Sweden and other nations have brought in a lot of these Muslim immigrants, and they're raping and killing and doing all sorts of horrible things because Islam is not a good religion. It's the religion of the Antichrist. A lot of us thought, well, it's just another religion. It's no big deal. But Jesus said Islam is the Antichrist religion. He said, all nations will hate you for my name's sake. Well, Muslims hate Christians. And he said the Antichrist religion would cut off heads. Who in the world today cuts off heads? Muslims. He said the Antichrist would want to take over Jerusalem and invade Israel. Who wants to do that in the world today? It's only Muslims, people. And if you look at, there's many things that identify the Antichrist besides those obvious things. One of them is that the Bible predicts the Antichrist would want to move through the Middle East and take over Israel and form a caliphate, basically, which is exactly what the Antichrist wants to do. Iran and other Shia northern Muslim nations, they want to invade the Middle East. Donald Trump even said Iran wants to invade Saudi Arabia, which is exactly what the Bible predicts. It predicts in Isaiah 15 through 22, and in Daniel 11, verses 29 through 45, it predicts a northern Shia Muslim invasion will sweep through the Middle East and come in and attack Saudi Arabia, the whore of Babylon, and then attack Israel. But anyway, that's a little Bible lesson real quickly there. We're going to get into what's the real message of the Mandela effect and why is it happening. People have noticed real history has been changed or affected. The reason why it's called the Mandela effect, because many people remember Joseph Mandela dying, the leader of Africa, in early 90s, but he's alive and he lived to become president of that nation in 2012, I believe. So that's why they call it the Mandela effect. But things are changing. They don't know how. People don't know how. Famous logos are changing. The Ford logo. I was in the car business. I have a photographic memory. The Ford logo was designed after Henry Ford's signature, 1/ on the F. But now it's been changed to a slash with a circle in it on the F. It looks like a pig's tail. And why was it changed? And it wasn't just changed, like say in 1940 or something. It was changed from the beginning of time. And it's so the whole Mandela effect is like Michael Fox on the movie Back to the Future. Back to the Future, the photograph in his guitar and in his hand was changing depending on past events. Well, somehow somebody's got some technology where they're changing past events for all time. They're moving things around. Some of the more famous ones that I know about, Bragg's apple cider vinegar I bought for 20 years is now Bragg. Coke Zero I bought for many, many years never was. It's always was Coca-Cola Zero. There's a lot of examples like that, like in movies. Darth Vader, we know he said, "Luke, I am your father." We know it's different now. It's, "No, I am your father." And the robot on the gold robot C-3PO now had a silver leg for all time. It was never all gold. These things are jaw-dropping. We don't know why and how they're happening, but I have an idea. One of the things that the Mandela effect does is a lot of famous logos and signs, the letters are joined together now. It's like the letters were separated and they're joined together. They're starting to blend together, which I believe is a secret signal that they're merging these realities. Now, how are they merging realities, Alan, and what does that mean? Well, they say that some of these new technologies, like the CERN super collider and these new D-wave computers, the new D-wave computers go into alternate universes to make their computations. And some say that they can use these to actually go back and affect our timeline, as it will, like in the movie Back to the Future. And also CERN, they say it's a portal to go into alternate universes. And what's interesting about CERN, let's get to the Bible portion of this. CERN is built on the ancient grounds of the city of Apollyon. And if that sounds familiar, the book of Revelation, chapter 9, talks about the angel of Apollyon opening up a doorway to hell. And isn't that astounding? That's exactly what CERN, some people say CERN is. It's a doorway or a portal to other dimensions. Now, I'm going to get into the meaning like I just said. If you see here, there's a few logos that the letters are merging together. And why are they merging together? To show us that the realities are merging together. Somebody's sending us a secret message. I have come to the conclusion that there's sort of like two sides to this. One side is the bad person. The other side are the good people. One side's the good people. The other side are the bad people. And the good people the freedom fighters are trying to send us messages through time to alert us as to what's going on so that we won't be fooled. Now, Alan, why are people going to be fooled? Well, it says right here in Daniel 7:25. It talks about the Antichrist there. And it says, "He shall speak pompous words against the Most High, shall persecute the saints of the Most High, and shall intend to change the times and the laws. And the saints will be given into his hand for 3.5 years of time." You see, this is the essence of what the entire Bible teaches. One of my discoveries is that the entire Old Testament, the prophets, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and all those people, Isaiah, are basically giving prophecies about this one period of time, this last 3.5 years. You see, the Bible talks about this Antichrist reigning for 3.5 years, and he's going to cause a strong delusion to come upon the people. He's going to intend to change the times and the laws. You see, the times, think about it. I always thought, okay, that means like, before Christ, after Christ, that kind of thing. But what if it means what it says? He's going to try to change the times, as in going back in history through some use of technology and changing our times. And I know it sounds kind of insane, but there's a lot of evidence for this now, people. And, I can go over some of it right now. And if you look on YouTube, there's plenty of Mandela EFFECT videos, but things we know happened in history have been changed. Like, for example, I know 9/11. The plane that hit the Pentagon. My memory, and a lot of people's memory, is that nobody was killed on the ground because it was under construction. But now it's changed to where 130 people were killed. That blew me away. Another thing that I never heard about was there was a 1916 explosion near the Statue of Liberty by the Germans. The Germans who were trying to attack us. And the torch on the Statue of Liberty was damaged. And hence, there's been nobody go up in the torch for the last 100 years. But if you look on some of these videos on YouTube, there's just dozens of people who say, I remember going to the torch in 1985, 1990. So somehow that history has been altered. And so this is how he could change the times. Now think about it. He could change the times in our religion. One of the things I found that he's most definitely changed is the Bible. Now, how could they change the Bible? Well, they go back in time. Somehow they've gone back to, when the King James was being formed or whatever by their time travel methods. And they've changed the Lord's Prayer. Like, here's the Lord's Prayer, the one that I remember and most people remember. It's on the left. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Now the new one says, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. So the secret message there, I come to believe, is our Father which, our father, the devil, he's a witch. Okay, that's what they're trying to say. And the devil lives in earth. A lot of people say hell and the regions of the damned is deep within the earth. So here's the secret message. The Lord's Prayer has been changed to our Father which and in earth instead of on earth. We live on the earth. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. He's changed it to the Father which, being in earth, that's where the devil lives. That's where the demons live, in earth. Okay, people, so that's one secret message that is my discovery. As far as I know, nobody's come up with that. Okay, so the Lord's Prayer has been changed. They've changed other scriptures like, judge not lest ye be judged. That's not in the Bible anymore. That should trouble you. Now think about it. A lot of people say, God would never allow the Bible to be changed. Well, people said God would never allow this or that, but we just had, 200,000 Christians slaughtered by ISIS. And, God, we're free will. It's free will man to do stuff. And people can change the Bible. God's word stands alone. Yeah, but somebody could alter it. That's why the book of Revelation says at the end, do not change the words of this book or you will suffer damnation. Well, that's the reason why it says that, people, because obviously somebody will try to change the words of this book. And they've done it. They've done it a lot in the Bible. Some people say there's hundreds of changes. Maybe it's just phase 1 right now. What if in the future we wake up one day and the entire Bible's changed to where Islam is the right religion? You see, that's why the Bible says it'll be a strong delusion. It'll be a great deception. He'll try to change the times. Here's a verse in 2 Thessalonians. Let me see what chapter this is. 2. Talks about the great apostasy. It says in verse 9, the coming of the lawless one, the Antichrist, is according to the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all unrighteous deception among those whom perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth that they might be saved. And for this reason God will send them a strong delusion, that they should believe the lie. So it's some sort of strong delusion. It's not a weak delusion, people. And in Matthew 24, Jesus said, this last 3.5 year period, again, I have a pet phrase God told me, that the same God uses the same words and phrases to describe the same events in the same Bible. And over and over and over and over again in the Bible, he talks about this last 3.5 years. Why? Because it's darn important. He says this, Jesus said, verse 21, there'll be great tribulation, such as not been since the beginning of the world, until this time, nor shall ever be again. In verse 22, unless those days were shortened, no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake they will be shortened. And verse 23, therefore, if anyone says to you, look, here's the Christ, or there, don't believe it, for false Christ and false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you ahead of time or beforehand. Verse 26, therefore, if they say to you, look, he's in the desert, the Antichrist, he's in the desert, do not go out. Or if he's over here in the inner rooms, don't believe it. For the Son of Man comes like lightning. You see what I'm saying, people? There's a great delusion in the 2 Thessalonians, and they're going to be trying to fool even the elect, which Jesus said here. The elect could be fooled. Jesus warns over and over, endure to the end. Why is that? Because we're going to be fooled. And, I'm not sure exactly how this deception will take place. One thought I've had is, aliens. People might leave behind their religions if the aliens backed a certain way of thinking. And that's a certain possibility. And they had, signs and wonders. People will go, well, we're going to evolve to the next evolution of our lives in the spiritual planes. And the aliens know they've been around thousands of years. It says this in Jeremiah 3 and 4. It talks about the aliens and leaving behind the real gods and following alien gods. You see what I'm saying? So that's a possibility. I'm just asking you to consider it, because I think there was a Jerusalem UFO where a UFO hovered over the Dome of the Rock, a Muslim shrine, for a few minutes, and then it vanished into the upper atmosphere. So again, if aliens backed Islam, and Islam is the Antichrist religion, and it will be a strong delusion, is it any great feat that they might have some technology to go back into the past and change the future, like the movie Back to the Future? You see what I'm saying? The Bible's been changed. Many famous movie scenes have been changed, which I'm going to get into right now. Like I said, the message, there's a secret message. The letters have been merging. And here's a few examples of where, logos, the letters are merging. They're touching each other now, which I think is a signal from the freedom fighters that our reality's merging. And then the other signal is in some of these famous movie scenes, Darth Vader. He goes, Luke, I am your father, but that's been changed to no, I am your father. I believe that's a secret message. The devil is saying, Luke is not your father, as in the Bible, but no, I am your father, the devil, the dark being. So that's one message that I think is there. Another message is the movie Field of Dreams. If you build it, he will come. It used to be, if you build it, they will come. Well, if you build what? CERN, a doorway to hell, the Antichrist will walk through it and fool the world. That's, I believe, is the secret message there. And again, Sally Field, her famous Oscar speech, they like me, they really like me, has been changed to they like me right now. That means the devil will be liked right now. His coming kingdom is right now. It's not for the future. Another famous movie scene is like, whatever that movie is, where they say, I think Cinderella, a magic mirror on the wall. It used to be mirror, mirror on the wall. Now it's magic mirror on the wall. And why is that? Because the round mirror looks like a Stargate portal, and where the devil can come through and walk through to our dimension. And it's more of a magic mirror than mirror, mirror on the wall. That's the secret message there. The Ford logo, I think, is switched to a loop, which looks like the CERN portal again, showing us how the CERN portal could be the opening for the devil to walk through. And all the letters, a lot of the letters and logos and things are opening up, like the Ford logo. The top of the O has an opening. It means that we're opening up to receive the devil through the CERN portal. Another thing a lot of people notice is like the A's don't have the crossbar anymore. And so there's just open A's and open U's and other things that they're all shaped the same. Like I noticed on the Olympics, the USA skiers had open A's, no crosses, which, again symbolizes we're taking out the cross of Jesus Christ and opening things up so the devil can come in. Another example is Moses. The statues of Moses across the world now have some horns on his head. Really? Moses has horns? Gee, who did that? Would that be the devil trying to make fun of the people of God? And, there's a famous one called Berenstain Bears. And now it's Berenstain Bears. Why? Because the Jews, the steen, are the stain upon the people of the devil. That's one change I think is pretty obvious. They changed the steen to a stain. That's how the devil looks at it. That's how Hitler looks at them. That's how evil people look at the Jews, as a stain. So again, there's all these hidden secret messages in the Mandela effects themselves. Another one I just found was 666 cough medicine. Never heard of that before. Think about it. That would be really anathema to have a medicine like that in America. Really? 666 medicine? The number of the Antichrist? Come on, people. That's not right. That's just not right. Another famous one is the movie Interview with a Vampire is now forever been changed to Interview with the Vampire. Again, the devil's not just a vampire. He's the vampire that the world's going to interview when he becomes the Antichrist or enforces the Antichrist. We're not all sure how that's going to go down. But Interview with the Vampire, the devil is the vampire. He's the one, if you build it, he will come. And, Darth Vader says, I am your father. You can see how there's a little bit of a trace of a message going through all these, a string of similarities where, it's the devil's trying to show us something, or some freedom fighter or somebody's trying to give us a message that the devil's trying to come through in our timeline and change our realities. There's a big one in the Bible, Isaiah 11:6. It now says, the wolf will lie with the lamb, and it used to say the lion will lie with the lamb, as in when this chapter is about the millennium, where Jesus Christ, the Lion of Judah, will come back and lie with his lambs, the church. But now it says the wolf will lie with the lamb, and people think, well, it always was the wolf, Alan. No, I've seen videos on YouTube where somebody has written a book. An MIT professor wrote one book where he goes, Isaiah 11:6, the lion will lie with the lamb. So there's no reason that he would have written that unless it was true. And of course, the secret message is there that the Antichrist, the wolf, will come back and lie with the lambs, the church, and go after them and overcome them, as the book of Revelation says. Another famous one is the logo from Volkswagen. There's a line through it now between the V and the W. I think this means that the enemy is trying to divide people. We're not one people anymore, one humanity under God. We're now divided, and that's what he's trying to do. He comes to bring division and hatred and bring his new world order into place under the Antichrist, the devil. So that's what I think. It's just a silent signal to all of us. Another Star Wars one is the robot, CP3O. He was all gold, and now he's got a silver right leg. Well, the right side of a person is their spiritual side, and silver kind of represents impurity, the dross, and things like that. So it's showing that mankind is being inundated with a secret silver dross to make us impure by this Mandela effect. They're merging realities, merging the devil's side of the equation and humanity to try to make one gigantic earth controlled by the devil. Okay? And back to the Field of Dreams, like I said, the Ford logo has a little circle that's like CERN. And the Field of Dreams on the movie poster, there's like a Stargate-like portal behind the guy. And like I said before, if you build it, he will come. The devil will come through that portal, as the book of Revelation predicts, and they're going to try to, subvent God's angel of Apollyon, bringing the devil through for the end of time, and try to start merging our societies now to make heaven and this world one world. Now that's the new world order. That's the real new world order, people. You see, a lot of the very wealthy people are Luciferians. And one of the prophecies I had was that Trump was going to usher in a new era of truth where a lot of these secret society pedophile type people who worship the devil are going to be thrown in jail. And, the media doesn't talk about it, but there's been thousands and thousands of pedophiles and many rings been brought to justice and thrown into jail after Trump became president. That's a fact. That's something that's happening right now. As in right now, they like me. Another little Mandela, a joke there, people. And anyway, we're about to finish this up. A lot of S's have been taken off. Depends has become depend. They're going to try to make us depend upon the enemy, the devil, as our father. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come in earth. Our Father which, who is the devil, and he is in earth, not on earth. That's really an amazing secret message, huh? The last thing I want to leave you with is there's some earth changes in geography. There's a Superman cartoon that's a residual evidence that shows South Australia, where I remember it. It's way below Madagascar. It shows the Mediterranean Sea with the Rock of Gibraltar being much more open in relation to Africa. And it also shows North and South America where they should be as well, not South America being 1,200 miles to the east. And there's other residual evidence as well. There's a silver dollar minted by Eisenhower. It shows North America over South America, just like I remember. Why would it do that? There was no way they would have a minted coin if it was not correct in some fashion. It wouldn't be 1,200 miles off, except it's conforming to my memory. And here's another map here that I found, what's called archival residual evidence of, the Mediterranean Sea being where it should be. And that's what this is all about, is we find these evidences of a previous Earth and a previous reality that, doesn't make sense. Why? Why would things be changed? The map makers can't be that far off. Here's a few more maps. A guy found a map in Seattle, in a Seattle thrift store. That's the way I remember it. North America over South America. And there's just too many things that are changing in our reality. There's Bible verses that are changing. There's, continents that are changing, and incontinents that are changing, basically with depends becoming depend. A little Mandela humor there. And again, Madagascar, Australia is way, way below Madagascar. That's the way I remember it. And I also remember Madagascar being named angry at your automobile. And, you're mad at gas car. Anyway, another little Mandela joke. Anyway, this is Alan Brooks signing off for a Mandela effect and what the real meanings are that, God or somebody's trying to give us a message that at the end of time, they're going to merge realities. The letters are merging all together on all of our logos, and they're giving us little clues here and there that the devil wants to be our father. So don't let the enemy's plans take our world back. Pray against it. Don't let CERN, whose motto and logo is 666, and who has on its grounds the goddess of Shiva, going through a Stargate portal, which is the god of destruction, which is ultimately what the devil wants to do, destroy mankind through his alien savior, the Antichrist. Don't fall for his bag of tricks. Pray that God would bring back our timeline the way it should be. That's all I can think of, because, funny enough, some things have come back. Some things, they call them Mandela flip-flops. The Flintstones became the Flintstones, and now they're back to the Flintstones. The Apollo movie, Apollo 13, Houston, you've got a problem, or you have a problem, we have a problem, became Houston, we've had a problem, and now it's back again. So our prayers can be effective, and this is Alan Brooks signing off.